work, buddy. Yes. Come on, boy.
Okay, now let's begin again with another one of our designs for your robot. This one we just call the tool, and we are going to work with, let's see, file new, and I'll set up my task, create the body, create the sketch in the XY plane. Okay, now this tool that we use is to set the arm of the robot to different positions, or when it gets stuck to move it up and down or something like that. So I'm going to use the polyline specifically for this tool, and I will start with the polyline, like, let's say I'll start there on the origin point. But before I do that, I want to move this a little bit downwards so everybody can see what I'm doing. So I click on the origin point, go 2 up. Number 1, we go 2 up, click there, then 2 to the side there. So this thing is totally symmetrical. So next we are going to go make a round thingy. I wonder, will we do this? Yeah, I'll leave it at thing like that, and then we go straight that way, up, then up again 2 there, and to make the loop. There we go, and then to get our lines sorted out again like that, and then we go that way. This is a fully symmetrical drawing that I'm doing here. Turn that way, and to go there we are, like that. 1 down again, and then we go again, and we finish at the origin point. Okay, we've got the base design for this thing. Now you'll see that these lines, all of these lines are the same length, so I'm going to select them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and I'll equal them. There we go, we equal them straight away. Now these ones, these circles that we have here, should also be, or arches should also be the same sizes. So I'm going to select 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I'll equal them. Right, now they are equal. So we've got these dimensional constraints going. Okay, so what's next? Let's see if we can figure out what to do next. I'm going to set the radius of these ones, so not the diameter but the radius, the size. 5 mil is perfect for this, so we'll just leave it at 5 mil. That means all of them should now be 5 mil because they are all equal. Okay, so let's see, we need 1 degree of freedom, and I'm going to set the distance of this thing, that arm, so that we can set how long these are, all of them. In fact, let's do it a little bit out of the way on this one, because they are all equal. We can do that, and we set a constraint for that, and we make them 20. Then all of them will be 20, like that. Okay, so we've got this thing going. It looks pretty nice at the moment. Okay, we can at this moment, so yeah, maybe we should do that. So let's close this. We've got this little guy, and let's pad it. So we're going to pad it. Pad 10, I think it's a little bit thick, so let's go down to about 7. That should be good enough, and we click OK. So it's padded on 7, and now we are going to click that thing, and we create another sketch for this thing. So we are going to create a sketch right there. That's where we want to go. Now that's the reason why I've got my origin point there, so that I can reference from the origin point very easily. Okay, so let's do this. I'm going to create a circle first of all. So pretty much 5 there, create a circle. I'm going to make it really thick. Okay, it should be 5 like that. Sorry, let's do this again. Create a circle. Right, we've got the circle, and this is straight in the middle of this thing, and you remember that one of these grids is 10 by 10 millimeters, so this one should reference to 5. So if we set that to 5, it should be just fine in the middle there. And then this block tells us that from there 1, 2, 3, so we've got 25 up. So let's do that. It's a simple way of doing things. Let's go 25 up. So 25 up, and we've got it where we want it to be. 25 up. Now the circle, we need to set radius to 5 precisely. There we go. Now we've got this thing, and it is constrained, so that's what we wanted. So let's close this one. We're going to extrude again. There we go. We extrude that one, and this time I'm going to extrude to about 13 millimeters. And I say, okay, it's extruded 13 millimeters. There we go. That's good enough. It shouldn't be more than that. Okay. Now again, I want a hole in there for the axle. So I'm going to click on this one, create a new sketch, and let's do this. We are close to this thing now. So instead of using a round one, I want to use a hex. So we are going to create a hexagon. And this hexagon should be in the middle there. So you can see where it references to there. So I'm going to do this, and we'll set the hexagon in there. Now the radius of this, I'm going to use the, let's not do that, let's use the that geometry. We are going to use that geometry. That is the construction geometry. That's why it's blue. So we're going to use the construction geometry and set the radius. Now we know that the axle hole is supposed to be, I believe the axle is 5, so it should be 2.5, and bang, that's where we want it. Now it's not in the middle, you can see that, so we'll sort that out in a moment. So let's do this. Okay, again, we are going to remember our center point is 25 and 5. So first horizontal, that should be 5. So let's make it 5. Okay, and from there up to there, it should be 25. 25 for the middle. Okay, it's got 25 for the middle, and now we need one more reference point. Because of these points there, we're going to set one more reference point, and I'll just use what the computer gives me. So I'm not going to do anything else. I'll just use that point, and we'll set a constraint for that, which is okay. We'll leave it just like that. Okay, you can see this thing is now fully constrained, so we can close it, and we've got that constraint there, and now we can pocket it. Pocket 5 mil. I want to pocket it to up to 10 mil. Okay, there we go. And this is the tool that we use for the robot to set the different heights of the arm if we have to do it manually. Okay guys, let's save this thing. File, save as, lesson, new lesson. Let's do that. Lesson 10. Lesson 10. We'll set it as L then robot to save.